यूपीएससी का एग्जाम, जिसमें हर साल 8 से 10 लाख लोग अपीयर होते हैं और महज 1200 लोग या 1000 लोग ही सिलेक्ट हो पाते हैं। और इनमें से भी महज 100 लोग ही ऐसे होते हैं जो आईएएस बन पाते हैं। जाहिर सी बात है, इतने कम सक्सेस रेट होने के कारण जो लोग सफल नहीं हो पाते हैं या सिलेक्ट नहीं हो पाते हैं, उनकी मेहनत पर एक बड़ा सवाल खड़ा हो जाता है। उनकी मेहनत को, उनके परिश्रम को अनदेखा कर दिया जाता है। हाल ही में 2023 के यूपीएससी परिणाम घोषित हुए हैं और इसमें 4th रैंक सिक्योर करने वाले पीके सिद्धार्थ सर, जो आज हमारे साथ गपशप के लिए मौजूद हैं। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग द सेशन
Yeah, no issues.
एंड congratulations for your success.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
So, sir, if I want to know how you started your early life, your schools, your about your college days, and how you thought of preparing about this exam. This exam is considered as one of the toughest exam in the world as well. So, how you started it?
So I didn't have a clear idea that I wanted to till my final year in architecture. So I did my graduation in architecture from Kerala University. So I graduated in 2019. And till then, I didn't have a clear idea. I had not finalized whether to go to civil services or not. And in 2019, during my final internship, I think, so I was thinking about whether to do urban development, urban planning, something like that. Then, although I did know about civil services, but I had not seriously considered it. And then I thought about it. I spoke with some people, I Googled, YouTube, and did all that. And then I thought this was a very, very promising career path. So then I thought about, did a little more research. And then finally I decided that I was convinced and I decided that I should do this. So I had given prelims in 2019 just to see, before I had even decided that I should give this thing, I'd given a prelims and then I didn't clear. But for me, the plan was whether I wanted to know whether I can do this, that feeling should be there. So then I prepared. After graduation, I prepared. Then I went to Delhi for Anthro. Other than that, mostly it was COVID time, so I prepared mostly from home with some test series, some content from many institutes, mostly, but no classroom as such, only for Anthro, mostly own. And many toppers, Telegram, all that. And then finally, 2020, I got into Indian Post and Telecom accounts and finance service, 21 IPS, 22 again IPS, 23.
Sir, so there was any influence or something else generally घर में होता है कोई या family में extended family में somebody is there officer और लोग share करते हैं अपने school की story की there was some district collector who visited their school so they inspired. Is there any such story?
No, no, I don't have any such fancy story. No civil servants in the
Yes, sir.
family, and no single collector as such from whom I was inspired. But I did, for me, interaction with civil servants before was there, but it's very less. I mostly found out through online only, whatever I knew, whatever I whichever IAS or IPS, IFS people who inspired, officers who inspired, were mostly from YouTube, from Google stories that I Googled and found out. I found out that there's a lot of opportunity, there's a lot of interesting and very uh like serious work that they're doing, a lot of opportunities in diverse areas. So and then people were getting into different domains and getting specialized, getting leadership opportunities in multiple areas, bringing about a lot of societal change. So in that way, I also wanted to do something where the impact could be a lot more wider and far reaching. And then as a platform, I was impressed that I was convinced that civil services was possibly a faster route to do a lot more greater work. That way, other than that, no any single event as such that inspired.
One of the article I was reading about your mom that she didn't know that you were preparing for this year as well, and suddenly your result came out and she was very happy and proud, feeling proud. So that feeling proud is always there, like in every parents. But generally, what happens? Other people which are also preparing, the lakhs of people are preparing in this journey, and some of them couldn't qualify. So generally, the society, family, and other relatives, they think like, okay, that student didn't study properly or something. So is that so? Like, is there something like somebody did less study? Because I have seen people who have studied a lot, but they couldn't make it.
I definitely think that there is no like direct correlation between effort and outcomes in CSE at least, in civil
Yes,
service
sir.
exams at least, because there's like firstly the number is so huge. Like they have to eliminate a lot of people at the prelim stage. Like if like 5-6 lakh people write and like 10,000, 12,000 clear. So that stage itself, most of the and I think anywhere around more than 5-6 lakh people are every year preparing just from Delhi or other places. So, like, it is very difficult. Like, a lot of things, a lot of randomness is there. It is inbuilt in the system. And the fact that when too many people are preparing and when there is a lot of competition, like small things like that day didn't go well, or things, some exam, like some questions didn't go well, or even presence of mind. And even presence of mind, even though I think is huge, like, you can't actually think that it will save you. Like, even if I write another prelims, I am not exactly sure if I'll clear. So, like, it's difficult to say. There's a lot of things.
Yes, sir. Uncertainties are always there, and even people are studying for like whole year and just for that prelims one day, and due to some reason I don't know, like there are many reasons. Like in the, exam happens in April, May. That is really hot weather. Some people cannot perform well due to that as well. One day exam is there, and uh, again you are like, if you cannot make it, you are just shattered totally. You can cry, and then there are people I have seen, like they cried, they are totally shattered, and then again on the other day they start again for the next year. So this exam is really like something big or something like tough.
This is like really, it is like a black hole. It is very difficult to get out of it. Either if you are very, like, either you exhaust the attempts, or you are like, you're not all even clearing films like 3-4 times, then possibly, or you are giving it along with some other job and you're not that serious. You yourself are not convinced that you'll clear it. In that case, possibly people might leave it. Otherwise, it's very difficult to leave because, again, there's a lot of social investment that you do. Like, people know that you are writing it, and people think that you're smart. You also think that you're smart. You put in the effort, your best years, and you'll think like you're almost there. And people who you think are less smarter than you might clear, and then you'll again think. So I personally, I've like been saying to everyone that even I know personally people who are actually like more competent, at least in the things that we study, like more who are better, worse in those things than me, who have not cleared. So there's, I don't know, like, there's a lot of factors, but I think like, crack the exam possibly to a certain degree, although there is luck and randomness. To a certain degree, it can be. Like, I think there's a lot of mental this thing that is being tested. Like, designed or not designed, because there's a lot of competition and all that. I think mental toughness, like whether, like, it is not just about you learn something and it is being asked. It is like whatever comes, you have to attempt it. It is like whatever comes, you somehow use some logic, arrive at the answer, like use some basic understanding or like presence of mind and all that. A little bit of that helps you, and a little bit of general awareness, general understanding, and you can crack the prelims. And although like there is randomness, and then mains is slightly predictable. Like, if you prepare well, I think unlike prelims, which I think there is a lot of subjectivity and randomness, I think mains, if you prepare well, I personally believe that mains can be, because it's predictable. Questions either from the current, or it's from the static syllabus areas, or it is from the PYQ. So I've given 4 mains. I mean, luckily, again, there is luck, but I've cleared mains every time decently. And I think mains is a little more predictable. And interview, again, like, there is some things which are tested, but again, if you're confident, if you're little expressive, articulate, I think you can decently like go through. I mean, complete the interview as well. So
So
there is
as you
randomness.
said,
I personally feel more at the prelim stage.
yes, sir. As you said, literally every year, jo students, they miss by a few marks or just like 0.5 marks, 1 marks, or even like more marks as well. They think like, okay, there is always a hope. कि next year I'll perform better, and they cannot leave that particular exam. And that's why people, I have like seen this year, one student was there, at the age of 42 he cleared this exam. So is it right to spend this much of time in this preparation? Like as Sanjeev Sanyal sir also said, ki youth is wasting its time in UPSC and they can be billionaires or do something better.
Like, I can't comment on what people should do. I think it's a personal choice. I think it's a great platform. It's a great opportunity. The very fact that people are putting in their best years, and in spite of failures, if they're like waking up again and then deciding to give it another shot, I think it talks about the opportunity that they see in front of them. And it's also because like you can do a lot of things for the society. You want to do a lot of things. Most people, like I have always felt, although we find a lot of negatives in people, other motivations and all, I still think most of the people who started, at least they had a little bit of idealism. Like you somewhere wanted to change the world, somewhere wanted to do something for the society, and possibly at a young age you are getting into like areas where you can decide, where you can actually, where your decisions matter, even if it is a very small thing, even if it is a small thing like water management or waste management, something like a flood issue, managing a flood or something. I think it's a huge thing. Like from like what actually matters in the field is like small things. Whether there's a flood, whether there's a drainage issue, something like that, or there's a riot, there's something like that. And civil service actually provides you, and even diplomacy. You are involved in actual like foreign relations between two nation states. I think it gives a lot of opportunity. So whether people are wasting or not, I don't know. It's again a personal choice. Like if they're compelled to do it out of some, I think if the motivations are wrong, probably they're wasting their years. Like if they're doing it for prestige, if they're doing it for some other, like, I don't know, like just for respect or some power and all, probably I don't think it is right. But I think if the motivations are right, I don't think, again, I think it's a personal choice. I think it's a great opportunity. So I don't think, I think it depends on what they want in life.
Sure, sir. Sir, there is one more thing which is going on. After this TVF series, aspirant, after seeing Sandeep Bhaiya, ki there should be always plan B. So nowadays people are like thinking about they should have alternative option, and some people also believe that alternative options divert your focus rather than improving your performance. They divert your focus, but some people think like, okay, it will release the pressure in your mind that okay, what will be my career after this exam. But what is your view on this? Like, should be like people should follow the plan B, or they should be like completely indulge themselves into the preparation and just prepare for next year and next year?
No, I think having a plan B is important because there's a lot of uncertainty. Like like although there is a lot of opportunity and positives and all that, like we never know. Like this exam is highly uncertain. You're competing with a lot of people. Like even mains itself, 5 days, interview another day, prelims another day. So 7 days. Any one day gone wrong, you're out. Any one paper gone extremely wrong, you're again out. So there is uncertainty. Like however well competent and well prepared you are, it can go wrong. So I think having plan B is important. It gives you a lot of confidence. And probably after 1 or 2 years of serious preparation, probably even 2, 3 years, like max, I personally think it is better to have a plan B, like because it will give you a lot of confidence, and it will give you some financial independence also. Like I don't know how many people, like at least for me, it was important. And luckily for me, like from my first serious attempt, I was getting into service. And in my second attempt, I got into IPS. So I was fortunate enough. Otherwise, I I definitely had thought about having a plan B. Like if I hadn't cleared like into 3 attempts, I would have gone for something else. Because financial independence is important. You are extremely dependent on parents, even they are retired age. So it is not that easy to keep up with things. And you'll see your friends and all having jobs and doing all that. So it's difficult. So I think it's better to have a plan B. But then if you are actually interested, possibly keep trying for the exam.
Some people think like okay, they are lagging behind in life, and due to this preparation, this they also feel isolated. So after this, they don't care about their mental and physical health. And sometimes I have seen people who have severe neck pain, back pain, in this preparation. So how to like deal with such an issues, like how to keep yourself motivated every day and just work for like your goal consistently?
So even I put on like some serious weight. Like I think I went from about 75 possibly to 85, 90. And like almost I like it's like on the higher side of overweight. And now I am back to 72 something because of police training and thing. But so for me, the thing was like I personally believe it is important to balance like mental health, physical health. Like mental health, I was fine. Like although there's a lot of pressure and all that, like somehow I had my like safety valves. I used to watch a lot of movies. I used to play something, play cricket. Like even on days when I'm exhausted, like suddenly at night I'll go out and go for a movie at 11:30. Like Cochin, everything is nearby. We have everything close by. So I'll do things like I'll go for cricket or something, badminton, something. But I mean, I'm not saying that mental health was easy, but still it was fine. But physical health, I did because you feel, and I used to study a lot at night, so I was mostly a night person. So suddenly I'll have sugar cravings. I'll go for having something, ice cream, something. I'll order something, and at that time my idea was like I'll put in everything that I have because I might not have another attempt. I was not sure whether I'll be able to like financially and otherwise like put give another attempt. So I tried to give it everything. So in that 2020 attempt, I think I gained a lot of weight. Then since I went joined there, possibly then I regained like I lost some weight. And but I think it's important to balance. The thing is, it's difficult to say because problem is you are trying to write an exam which is like the most competitive exam in terms of numbers. I'm saying just purely in terms of numbers and the number of people getting in, number of people appearing to number of people getting in. It's one of the most competitive exams in the world. So in that way, you know that even if you're not like if you're not at your best, then you have to entirely depend on luck, which is very like it's unlikely that luck is on your side. You never know. If it's there, it's there. But so your only thing, the only thing which is in your control is your effort. So you always want to outperform, like do better than what the others are doing. So in that way, you feel tired. You want to give yourself some energy. You want to eat whatever you like, so that your mental health also improves. So I personally didn't take my physical health so seriously, but I think it is important to balance. And I don't think after a point, I think the extra effort after a point, that margin, the law of marginal utility or whatever, I think after a certain point, I don't think it actually helps. It is more like we have a fear. Okay, I have to put in this much of hours, or else fear, or I'll get guilty. I'll feel guilty. So I think somewhere it is important to balance your physical and mental health because your productivity will increase. And I've also been feeling from at least some time that quality of time is more important. Although while preparing, even this time, even I did like somewhere you have this mental thing, you want to count everything, this tendency to measure everything. But I think it's important to have better quality of time and this thing health than the number of quantity. So
Even some of the topper even said that they completely cut out from this social media platforms, WhatsApp and even Telegram, everything. So I think okay, there are days when you feel low and it's okay to feel low, and you can give yourself small treats, but don't let these treats turn into disaster. I think this is the key.
yes,
And
like I was not very active on social media. Even now, my social media is like I am only active on WhatsApp. I've been trying to get active on Instagram, but I am not that this thing. So, but I think WhatsApp was very good for me, like very useful for me. Like everything I wanted to know, like even I wanted to keep contacts with at least some very close friends. Like whatever said and done, like you want to have some human interaction end of the day with your college mates, schoolmates, some people, like whatever. So in that way, I felt social media is fine. You just have to regulate the amount of time you're spending.
sir, even like talking about the social media, recently I have seen so many trending videos or even shorts showing power of IAS, IPS. These things, I guess, these motivates even parents, even youngsters a lot, and they are coming into this preparation since like in their school days, since even 10th class I have seen. So do you think like it should be somewhere regulated, or even if people are talking on social media platforms, they should be like bit sensible while talking, because I think people should enjoy their school days and even college.
like I seriously think that like there is a lot of problem because there's a lot of like marketing that's happening. The UPSC industry is a very huge industry. So even content creators, whoever, like everyone involved in this, they want to like use something so that they get a lot of clickbaits, they get a lot of views, they get a lot of content, or they get people to see their content on their website. So in that way people get inspired by this, I don't know. And probably like somewhere I think it's important to get over that respect or power fixation. like uh, like whatever you crave for, it will be very difficult to get. Like if you have very little expectations in that manner, then possibly whatever you get will be more than your expectations. But if you have like, you want people to like be very, I think in that way you'll definitely be disappointed. Like even my idea, I have very little idea, but I think it's very sure. Like at least going forward, more people are getting educated. People, and rightfully so, people are voicing their dissent, voicing their concerns. So in that way, it is not right to expect people to give you that kind of respect, which no one else is getting. Like going forward, I think everyone will truly like rightfully they'll feel that they are equally as good as the other person, whoever be it a civil servant, be it a politician, be it a movie star, anybody. So in that way, I think I don't think people should come in looking at that kind of respect or that kind of power. And I think power also should not be seen in that way. I think it's a very reductionistic idea that you see power just in terms of the number of people looking at you, or I don't know, like people walking, making reels out of whatever you think. I think that is more for movie stars or something like that. I think power should be seen as an opportunity in terms of the kinds of opportunities that you get, or possibly the kind of the strength of the platform, the strength of the career that in front of you. In that way, I don't think power is a negative word, but I think the way you see power possibly makes negative connotations out of it. So I think again, it's up to how people take it.
Even talking about this trending thing, there is one more thing which I heard is civil service preparation makes you a better citizen, a better person. And there is a saying like at least everyone should at least cover the syllabus, at least prepare for once in their life for better understanding of society. So is it true?
I have felt that whatever we are reading, people, like I should have also read it before, like without, even if I was not preparing, probably I should have read it. Like in some
Yes.
ways, understanding the constitution, like those are things that everyone should be understanding, even things of economy. Also, now people are getting more interested in secondary markets. I don't think people, like even I didn't know without, because I was not that much, like newspaper also, I used to read the sports page, see whichever movies are releasing. In school, at least, I was only reading all that. In college, possibly a little more out of interest, but still, like the kind of understanding. I'm not saying that is huge, but whatever little understanding that I have now is because I did put in a little of effort in civil service this thing. But I think people should have read the like have gotten some understanding about all this even without preparing for UPSC. So I think whatever people are saying is right, but I wouldn't say people should at least prepare for UPSC. Like I think people should have had the same understanding even otherwise, because most of it is like general understanding of the economy, general understanding of the polity, things around us, general science and tech. Like it's like everyone should be knowing. Even I should be knowing. I didn't, and I think people should also possibly, ideally, they should be knowing.
That's really true. Like even till 12th class, I guess, or even 10th class, we study the social sciences. I guess we should give more attention to the newspapers and along with the 10th class study. So that is enough rather than going to a particular institute or any joining any particular institute and study the whole syllabus and then decide whether to prepare for this exam or not.
Yes, yes. Like there's this saying in, I think, a movie like that, Eat, Pray, Love. They say that even so the word passion is like highly, it's like cliched nowadays. Like you should go like look up. I think somewhere, I think curiosity is more important. Like in the movie they say, somewhere
Yes.
inquisitiveness is more important than passion also. And passion is definitely important, like more important than fear. Like you shouldn't learn something out of fear. Like if you don't know this, you will be looked down upon, or like you might lag behind people. Like even passion, like what if you like more than two things, and what if you want to understand? Like then I think passion is good, but I think general like tendency to learn things, like interest in knowing things, that in general is like important in life, because it's very changing. Everything is changing at a very fast pace. So I think a tendency to learn or your interest in general is more important. And at least in my time, I felt like there is a lot of like we compartmentalize education just like everything, and in that way we feel like, okay, this is very difficult for me. They are very like they are more competent. These people are better than me at this. And like I always felt, I mean, I not now, but earlier I felt like possibly physics, chemistry, and all, like I was not that strong. Although I mean marks were there, but I was not that strong. I was not very confident. But I feel that understanding of basic things are very important. Like if it was more so focused in terms of like interest, how this is working, just for understanding, in terms of general understanding, possibly. And if it was not for 10th marks or 12th marks, possibly my interest would have been different. So in that way, I think even social science, anything, if you're learning social science, it shouldn't just be for civil services. Like what if you don't want to get into civil services? And there's nothing like it's just science, it's just social science. Going forward, everything would be, I don't think the boundaries will be that distinct going further. So I think it's important to have a general tendency of inquisitiveness.
Talking about what we love to like what we love to do, or this thing ki, okay, whatever is our passion we should follow. uh, some people, I don't know, maybe out of family pressure they prepare for this exam, and or maybe due to this all social scenario which is going on, they get through with this exam, they join even the service, but after few years of service they leave the, they quit the service, and then they either go to some MNC or some other like industry, educational industry or something else. So like what is the reason behind it? Like is it too much work pressure or too much stress or anything else?
Like again, I don't know. Like I think those are all personal decisions.
Yeah.
I don't think I might be very like, competent enough to answer. Like I don't know. Like I am also stepping into it. Like I've been in IPS for like 1 2 years now, but still I've not actually gotten on to field, and it is very difficult to say. Like the fact that so many people are getting into it says that there's a lot of good things people are seeing in it, but very few people who are leaving it, possibly personal reasons. I'm not entirely sure.
That's true. So, and sir, there is one more question. Like you also made it in your fourth attempt finally. There are failures, and if somebody is preparing, he has to like consider the failures as well. But these failures are these failures act like a baggage on the student, and it increase the stress. So, like how to handle these failures?
Like again, like as I said, so I was fortunate to get into telecom initially, and then like from that the year 21, I got into Indian Police Service. So I was initially in my plan also, it was either IAS, IFS, or IPS. So I would have, like I was happy by then, but just that I wanted to have a little more diverse opportunity somewhere. So initial plan was more in terms of IAS, and then IFS, and then IPS, in that way. So that is why I tried again. In terms of failures, I don't know. Like I think like failure, like it is there everywhere. Like whatever you do, every step it is like, and it depends on what your goals are. So if you see, um, like you can fail in anything. Like every year there'll be a lot of things you'll fail. There'll be a lot of things you succeed. Uh, like at times failing in UPSC civil service, I don't think it is difficult. As I said, I think it's important to have plan B after some point. Like after initial two, three, at least 2 3 attempts, and depending upon your age and financial condition, you should, like if you are like sound, like where age is also not that like if you have very sound financial condition and if you're very motivated, you can actually try it without like having plan B. But if you're not rightly motivated, or if you have issues, I think you should look for plan B. And failures, I don't think it is like how badly do you want it. So it is like how badly do you want it, how well are you prepared, and then you make an assessment. Like you can always say that there is luck and all, even I feel there's luck. But if you are so very well prepared and all that, then I think at some point it should work your way. And at some level, anything in life should be like left it, like there's a level of detachment that is important. Like after you give everything, like whatever said and done, there's this thing by Mike Hussey. He says that life should be treated like a butterfly. If you try to catch it, it is very difficult to catch it. At some point, you have to leave it, and it might come and sit in your shoulders. So I think at some point, it's not that intensity should be given up, but at some point, I think it's important to leave it also.
On 16, there is a UPSC prelims this year, and people might have feeling very like anxious before exam. People feel like, okay, I have forgot everything. I don't remember anything now. So, what you want to tell them? Like,
I think like general things, keep it simple. Try to attempt as much as questions as possible, like 80, 85 questions, because it's becoming very subjective. So you have to guess. End of the day, you can say it is intelligent guessing, whatever guess you have to guess, eliminate. So do more, so then the chances of getting 80, 85, 90 is more. And then I think like static is still rewarding, like polity, history, and economy combined gives you like 40 questions, I think. So even if you get 30 questions right, you just need net 38 out of 80, 85. So if you're getting 30 questions out of the static and then you getting like 20 from guessing, still you'll make it. So even if luck is not on your side so much, if you're strong on static and a little bit of any one current compilation or something you've read, I think you are strong to go. And CSAT also last 2 3 days, like whatever little you have done, like revise it a little more and be confident. I think end of the day, confidence can even like process and confidence is more important than the actual preparation also at some point, I feel.
yeah. Yes, sir. Even people say ki, like CSAT exam, we perform, we solve question paper. We have to solve nowadays GS paper as well. Like nobody knows completely, but they work smartly and they try to apply that limited set of knowledge in that particular exam.
To see it as a survival game. I don't think it should be seen in that way, but I used to see it as a battle, like a survival game. Like it is
Yeah.
either like, I mean, for the sake of that exam, but once the day is over, I used to like give it up. Like it's over, it is over. I'll see when I'll try one or two answer papers, but last year and all, I just left it till the prelims result came. A little bit of like very little newspaper reading or something like that I did till the result came. So I think you give your best in the exam day and then somewhere just leave it a little and then start reading slowly for the mains. Don't invest too much after you've done your films.
That is like great. And just one another message, like those who really want to get into the preparation and those who are like just started their preparation, how to channelize your energy, how to channelize your preparation in this stage particularly.
Like I think it's important to like reinforce why you started it. I think the why question is very important. Like whenever you started it, and so just try to keep your drive alive, and if it is not there, I think it's important to have a look for other options. Like if you're not really motivated, I think it's important to look at other options. If you're really motivated, I think keep it simple, keep reading. It's about general understanding and look at the PYQs. I think looking at the PYQs, doing the current, doing the static, these three things itself will get you cleared. And if you just started, you can prepare on like start with the newspapers, have a general understanding, read the basic books, read your optional well, and then be strong in general and be like, I think it's important to be adaptable also. Like you never know when the paper pattern might change, so I think it's important to be adaptive. Like what if in one particular your English questions in CSAT is less, or suddenly anthro optional paper is not there. You can't suddenly say that because of that you failed. Like you should be prepared for anything that comes and then see how it goes.
Ultimately, it's an exam and you have to prepare for that. Like it's just like a game, like anything can happen. Yeah, and you have to prepare for that.
Life also, you can never say anything that can happen next day. Even if you drive on a like empty street, you never know what will happen. So it's worth the chance, but like I think it's easy. It's important to simplify it and see it in a very like a relatively smaller way.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much, literally, for coming and sharing your views. That really means a lot. And congratulations again. And really all the best for your upcoming joining.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.